Good morning, guys. What I'm going to show you how to do today is how to reverse an image. I have an image that has type on it, and instead of trying to draw the type backwards, which often leads to mistakes, I'm going to start with an image where the type is forwards. This is the drawing for my cover page. It says too close, too far. And I'm going to make it transparent very easily so that I can transfer it using carbon paper to my block. Okay? It's actually extremely easy to do. I'm going to use mineral oil, but you can also use vegetable oil, olive oil, canola oil, motor oil. I wouldn't use motor oil, but it'll work. And what the oil simply does is it makes the paper transparent. So I'm going to turn this down. I've got a little bit of oil on a paper towel here. And I'm going to put some paper towel underneath my drawing. So there's my drawing. I'll turn it so you can read it. But it's hard to see, right? But watch what happens when I put oil on the paper. I need a little bit more oil here. You don't want to use too much. Be stingy because it'll make a big mess otherwise. I've had students do this and use too much oil, and then there's oil all over their carbon paper, all over their block. It's like the Deepwater Horizon if you don't be a little stingy with your oil. So I keep going back. I'm just using a little bit. And like I said, any oil will work. Baby oil, which is mineral oil with a pretty scent added to it, will work. I'm sure essential oil would work, but that would be expensive. Just use the oil that you got in your kitchen. Okay. So now I can see the image backwards and forwards. Okay. That allows me to very easily transfer it to the block. So I'm going to do exactly what we did before. I'm going to cut some of this excess paper off of here. By the way, to make this drawing, I simply traced one of these blocks onto, in this case, a piece of typing paper, and then drew within the picture plane. There's no scaling up. Everything is nice and small, so you can work directly from your sketchbook. If you don't want to get your sketchbook all oily, you can make a copy using your scanner printer of the sketchbook page and then do this. So I'm attaching it with some tape. Along the back, just one side, so that way I can put the carbon paper underneath. You can see this carbon paper has an oil spot on it from doing this in the past. And then, using a hard tool like you did before, transfer the image. But this is reversing it, so when I look at it right now, it's backwards. The words are backwards, and they'll be backwards on the block when you cut. But when it prints, they will reverse again and they will be forwards. I've probably showed at least some of you, if not all of you, the wooden and lead type that we have in the print shop, and that, if you remember, is also backwards. The letters are backwards. And this makes it much easier. I've had so many students make the typical mistakes. One of them is that they forget to reverse a letter so that the letter appears to read backwards, or they get the letters turned around properly, but then they put them in the wrong sequence. So instead of B-I-R-D, they do B-R-I-D or something like that. And B's and D's, they're always tricky anyway, because when you reverse them, they look like the other. So I'm just transferring this. You can see that it's showing up nicely on my block, and then I'll proceed as usual with the Sharpie before I start carving. Let me do one of the letters real quick. That was the whole point of this. And you can see, or I'll do a couple of the letters. And remember, you can always fix things if you see a mistake as you go, or you make a mistake as you go. It's not permanent until it's carved out of the linoleum. So there is the finished lettering anyway, so you can see it forwards because that's the front of my drawing, backwards because that's the back of my drawing, but I can see it with the oil, and then backwards on the block. That's it. Bye.